Good morning and welcome to Landlord Law Firm's LLFtv News. My name is Robert Chesson. Today in our LLFtv News, we were going to discuss some HUD guidance that came out on criminal background checks. We're going to discuss some bills that are being considered up in Hartford, and we're going to talk about a case that Landlord Law Firm won recently up in Hartford that's a great win for landlords here in Connecticut. In our first story, we're going to discuss HUD's guidance memo they recently issued regarding the blanket use of criminal histories for excluding housing applicants. HUD did not issue a rule, HUD did not issue new regulations or pass any laws, but they did put out a guidance memo at the beginning of April where they've suggested that using criminal histories, arrest records, is something that will no longer be allowed to deny an applicant. They went further to indicate that if you're going to consider criminal convictions, you actually have to dig deeper into the history of that conviction before you use it as the sole basis for denying an applicant for housing. The guidance, I quote, seeks to end blanket exclusions for prospective residents based on criminal history in favor of a more individualized approach that is more narrowly tailored to achieve property safety and security goals. They're not suggesting, nor have they passed a law that makes someone with a criminal background a protected class. However, under the concept of disparate impact theory, they are absolutely looking to provide protection for individuals who are coming out of the prison systems and or have an arrest record from losing their opportunity for housing. Again, one more time, this is not a law. This is not a current regulation in place. It is a guidance memo. You can check out the full guidance memo attached either to this video or our website, so you can see exactly what their theory and their perspective is. But it is a fair warning that pretty soon we're going to see some more aggressive efforts to make this a protected class and or to make this law that you have no choice but to follow. In a related story, and as we reported in last month's news segment, the Connecticut legislature has been working on legislation on the employment law side that has a similar effect, that eliminates the ability to use criminal history, criminal arrest records as a basis for denying an employment application. For those of you who have been in this industry for a while, you recognize that things that happen in employment law very shortly thereafter become the law of the land in the housing arena. So the Connecticut Apartment Association has been fighting a bill that ultimately passed the House and is now sitting in the Senate. It's called House Bill 5237. That is also going to be linked to this video on our website. But we've been fighting that bill to, as a precursor to prevent its rollover into the housing arena. And if you have access to your local legislators or senators, please reach out to them and voice your concerns about being denied the ability to consider someone's criminal background as a basis for denying their employment, and ultimately the impact that may have in the housing arena in the future here in Connecticut. And finally, we wanted to report what we believe is a great victory for landlords here in Connecticut in a case that we tried for a client up in Hartford over the course of the last several months. Adam Schweikert, one of the partners here at Landlord Law Firm, successfully put on what was a 5-day trial, and after a 61-page decision, won a case in favor of the landlords regarding an unauthorized occupant and illegal conduct case that proves to be a really great bedrock for future cases for landlords here in Connecticut. You can find that on the Judicial Branch website under the heading Chaffa Small Properties versus Campbell. I think you can link to the decision there as well, but we will put a link attached to this video and attached to our website so that if you'd like to see the court's rationale and reasoning, it will help you in the future for developing these sorts of cases if you face those. Thanks for your time, and we appreciate you visiting us here at LLFtv News. Take care.